Please take your seats. And ladies and gentlemen, today all of us come together as a collective of very passionate individuals, organizations, scholars, researchers, policymakers to address some of the challenges hindering the progress of gender equal and socially inclusive and resilient agri-food systems. Recognizing that addressing these challenges becomes extremely important, not only for justice, but also for us to ensure sustainable development and our food security. So as we take this dialogue with everyone, we formally inaugurate the conference as per the Indian traditions, and I would like to request Honorable President to please light the ceremonial lamp marking the auspicious inauguration of this 4-day international conference, Research to Impact towards Just and Resilient Agri-Food Systems. Ladies and gentlemen, the lighting of the lamp symbolizes the sharing of knowledge and wisdom. Each wick, as you can see, is being lit and passed from one person to another. That represents the sharing of knowledge. And in conferences and discussions and deliberations like this, we share our knowledge, we share our experience, we share our expertise, so that we can all work together. We can collaborate towards creating more just and resilient agri-food systems, bringing about greater prosperity, working towards our shared goals and a more shared prosperous future, working towards global good and welfare for all. Lighting of the lamp, ladies and gentlemen, symbolizes that. So let's work on this unity principle. Let's share the fruits of knowledge together. Let's collaborate. Let's build those partnerships for a happy world. And light, in fact, symbolizes knowledge. So when we light the lamp, we dispel ignorance or darkness, and we move towards light and knowledge. Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to all the dignitaries. So with this auspicious inauguration, I now request Dr. Himanshu Pathak, the Director General, Indian Council of Agriculture Research and Secretary, Department of Agricultural Research and Education, for his welcome remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Dr. Pathak is a scientist of global repute who's been working in the areas of abiotic stress, climate change, and soil science. I request him for his welcome remarks.
Good morning, everybody. Her Excellency, Honorable President of India, Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Sri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Sri Kailash Chaudhary ji, Susri Shobha Karnalaya ji, Honorable Ministers of State for Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, Dr. Andrew Campbell, Executive Managing Director of CGIAR, Dr. Teminal Alani Sarif, South Asia Regional Director, CGIAR, Dr. Nicolene Dehan, Director, Gender Impact Platform, eminent national as well as international delegates, researchers, scientists, friends from the media, and all the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I extend a warm welcome to you all in this inaugural program of the International Conference from research to impact towards just and resilient agri-food systems. We are grateful to Honorable President of India for gracing this occasion. Madam, your presence is an inspiration for all of us and gives boost to the self-confidence to Nari Shakti, Matri Shakti, the woman power, while instilling a feeling of pride among us. Dear delegates, since ancient times, India recognized women in very high esteem. We worship our land as motherland. We call it Bharat Mata. Our scripture says, Janani Janma Bhumischa Sargadapi Gariyashi, meaning mother and motherland are superior even to heaven. The Vedas also says, Yatra Naryastu Pujjante Ramante Tatra Devata, meaning where women are honored, divinity blossoms there. Since the beginning of agriculture, about 11,000 years back, women have played very crucial role in its execution as well as its development. Farm women are keys to agriculture transformation, not only for India, for also whole world. In developing countries, agriculture employs about 80% of rural women. Participation of women is 75% in the production of various crops, 80% in horticulture, 50% in post-harvest work, and more than 95% for animal husbandry and fisheries. These numbers are even higher in the African countries. Empowering and mainstreaming rural women in agriculture can bring paradigm shift towards economic growth. Such empowering can be brought in through technological backstopping, development of entrepreneurial skills, financial as well as market linkages, and providing enabling policy environment. Considering women farmers' need and reorienting agriculture research and innovations have great potential to benefit the agri-food systems. And as you all know, the challenges are best overcome and transformations are most achieved through multi-stakeholder partnerships. And that is why this particular conference has been organized to play a pivotal role in guiding research, policies, and investments towards better and resilient food systems for all. This conference is jointly being organized by the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, which is one of the world's largest agriculture research, education, and extension systems, and of course, the Consultative Group on International Agriculture Research, Gender Impact Platform. In this conference, some of the world's top researchers, thought leaders, and practitioners are participating to collectively deliberate on how to make faster and stronger progress towards resilient, equitable, and just food systems. The conference will offer opportunities to strengthen capacities, social networking, and partnerships to bridge the gap between research and practice and foster inclusive and resilient food systems for better societal impact. ICAR, CGIAR, and other agriculture research systems will play a pivotal roles in identifying innovations and priorities to support implementation of women-led development in agriculture. Once again, I welcome each one of you to this global conference and look forward for the 4 exciting and productive days of deliberations. I am confident that the conference will complement our endeavor to ensure science-backed, innovation-led, inclusive, equitable, just, sustainable, and resilient agri-food systems. Once again, welcome to each and every one of you. Jai Hind. Namaskar.
Thank you, Dr. Pathak, for setting the tone and the context of our discussions with your opening remarks. And ladies and gentlemen, as Dr. Pathak mentioned, it is so very befitting that today this conference has been inaugurated by the first citizen of India, a woman holding the highest office in the land. And then, ladies and gentlemen, born and raised in a region where agriculture is not just about livelihoods. In fact, it is ingrained in the cultural heritage. Our Honorable President has long recognized the need to bring about these transformational changes in the agriculture sector. And our presence today, ladies and gentlemen, further reflects the strong commitment and the determination of India to address these issues and to bring about these changes. And at the same time, it also underscores the very importance of the topics which we are going to be discussing in these next 4 days. So we now would like to express our heartfelt gratitude and thanks to the Honorable President for gracing the occasion, for joining us, and we look forward to her guidance as we take these discussions. So please join us, ladies and gentlemen, as we express our thanks by presenting a special memento to Honorable President. I would like to request our Honorable Agriculture and Farmers Welfare Minister, Shri Narendra Singh Tomarji, to kindly present a special memento to the Honorable President. This memento, ladies and gentlemen, being presented to Madam President, is an antique pendant from northern Ethiopia, and this is 130 years old. As you know, Ethiopia is known to be the cradle of humanity, and it has this very intricate design, which is called the beb, which is hand-woven, and it is made again by the women. So that's a special thank you to our Honorable President. I now request Professor Andrew Campbell of CGIAR. And CGIAR, ladies and gentlemen, with its global reach and its commitment towards addressing some of the pressing challenges being faced by agriculture, has been at the forefront of efforts to ensure food security, to reduce poverty, to promote gender equality and social justice. Professor Andrew Campbell is currently the Interim Executive Managing Director for CGIAR. He previously served as the CEO of the Australian Centre for Agricultural Research, and he has held various influential roles in sustainable agriculture and research management now for over 30 years. I request Professor Andrew Campbell for his introductory remarks.
Thank you very much. Honourable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, Sri Narendra Singh Tomar, Honourable Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Sri Kailash Chowdhury, Honourable Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Sushri Shobha Karandlaj, Honourable Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, other distinguished guests, friends and colleagues. As my friend and colleague Dr. Pathak has just said, the challenge of feeding enough people enough food in healthy, safe and sustainable ways is more acute now than at any stage since the start of the Green Revolution 60 years ago. And the world cannot hope to meet that challenge if half of its people, and arguably more than 50% of its talent, are not at the table with equal access to resources and decision making. That is what this conference is about. As Dr. Pathak said, thank you, Honourable President Srimati Draupadi Murmuji, for gracing us with your presence here today. It's really important when the leaders of incredibly leading countries like India show by their presence and their commitment the importance of the issues that we are dealing with. CGIAR is delighted to be partnering with the Indian Council for Agricultural Research in hosting this landmark event. And Indian leadership in the G20 and in the CGIAR and in agriculture globally more generally is incredibly important and welcome. Dr. Pathak this morning was telling me about the challenge of reforming ICAR, 113 institutes, 76 agricultural universities, servicing 126 million smallholder farmers. One of the largest and most important agricultural innovation systems in the world. So the CGIAR Gender Platform, as my colleague Dr. Nicoline de Haan will outline, is a global hub, a centre of excellence for supporting gender researchers throughout the world. And so for us, it makes enormous sense to be working collaboratively with national systems and complementing our capabilities with those of national systems. And there is no national system more important for us to be working with than that of India and its leadership in ICAR. This is a crucial partnership for India, for South Asia, and for the world. Like Her Excellency the President, I come from a farming community. I'm fifth generation on my farm. We've been farming in our area since the 1860s. And for me, it's common sense in my own community to see that when women and girls have equal access to resources and education and decision-making, the whole community benefits in better nutrition, in better community health, in better education, in faster and more equitable economic development. It's common sense in a farming community, but now it's also backed up by very good research. But as we have seen in recent crises, we still have a long way to go. Women are more likely than men to be food insecure. There are now about 150 million more women than men who are starving and hungry. That gap is 8 times bigger now than it was just in 2018. So in 5 years, it's got 8 times worse. So we can see that the combined crises of climate change and COVID and conflict are hitting girls and women harder than men. So we need researchers and policymakers and industry leaders and extensionists in agriculture, food, water, biodiversity, climate change work. We need that big community of people to have the tools and insights to improve the ways in which we interact with rural communities and the policy and institutional environment within which smallholder farmers operate. Gender matters. And so I love the title of this conference, From Research to Impact Towards a More Just and Resilient Agriculture. I hope that we have a wonderful conference. I know we have enough talent in the room to ensure that that's the case. And once again, I'd like to thank our colleagues ICAR for this partnership and to wish everyone well for a great conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Campbell. Your address promises to inspire, inform, and guide us as we work towards building more just and resilient global agricultural communities. And ladies and gentlemen, the entire conference has been very thoughtfully and meticulously planned so that we can address and work on the issues and the challenges. So I would now like to request Dr. Nicoline de Haan, a senior researcher with more than 20 years of expertise in gender, rural livelihoods, agriculture, and natural resource management. She is Director, CGIAR Gender Impact Platform. I request her to kindly brief us about the entire conference, introduce us to the conference.
Thank you. Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, Sri Narendra Singh Tomar, Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Sri Kailash Chudrai, Honorable Minister of State, and Sushri Shobha Karanjali, Honorable Minister of State, Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, other distinguished dignitaries on the dais, in the hall, dear colleagues and friends. This conference is about research. Research not for research's sake, but research to build the foundation for change for a better future. We have brought together gender research from over 60 countries, from Fiji to Sri Lanka to Burundi to Peru. As we all know, research has been revolutionary for agriculture. Research has been the driving force behind productive gains through breeding, through improved agronomic practices. With great respect, we remember the late Prof. Swaminathan, who led this revolution in India. Back then, it was research that provided innovations for the profound challenges of food insecurity and rural poverty, catapulting agriculture and farmers into a new era of productivity. Today, we are facing similar grave challenges. Women and girls are excluded from opportunities to benefit and lead in the food system. Based on the current pace of progress, it will take nearly 300 years to close the gender gap and achieve equality. We are in dire need of a new wave of research-backed innovations that can catapult women into the center of food systems. Therefore, I now stand before you to ask if we can stand together and embrace research for the next revolution, one that includes women and that gives them opportunity to contribute, benefit, and lead. The gains for farmers, food systems, and nations will be immense. And that's why we have to get started now. Imagine if we'd had to wait another 300 years to realize any gains in agriculture. As researchers, we have been able to show how important women are in agriculture. We've made the invisible visible. And we've shown how investing in women is giving returns for everyone. But we also know that it's not only about women, right? But it's also about understanding what needs to be changed in the food system to support women and how we engage with men to make this happen together. We know we stand to gain, and now is the right time for gender researchers, you in the room, seeking to achieve impact to make research count. There are three very clear reasons why we need to do this now. First, India, under its successful G20 presidency, has made women-led development and women's leadership a top priority, not just nationally, but across the G20. The G20 nations have reaffirmed their commitment to advancing gender equality and empowerment for all women and girls. And they have agreed on furthering women's leadership in climate action, food security, and nutrition. This offers opportunities for gender researchers to guide the decision makers in the G20 countries as they make the next steps. So that's reason one. Reason two, second, this conference cements our close partnership with ICAR. ICAR, which is one of the largest national agriculture research systems in the world, has a long-standing history of guiding and supporting India's 126 million smallholder farmers. Their unique experience and reach and their status as a model for NARS across the global south provides opportunities to truly scale the agricultural innovations and technologies that can strengthen gender equality in food systems. Finally, also important, the elevation of gender equality, youth, and social inclusion as a priority theme within the CGIAR has recast the gender platform not just as a research platform, but as an impact platform. This gives us the mandate and obligation to convene networks and build partnerships that can allow us to move beyond research and to seek influence. That is why I think this is a humbling moment, especially with the President here, maybe also slightly intimidating. It is now that we all have a choice and must rise to the occasion together and demonstrate how gender and social science research is not only relevant, but essential to achieve just and resilient food systems in a climate change. The good news is we are ready. I know that we are. Among my many friends and colleagues have gathered a wealth of world-class cutting-edge knowledge, insights, and recommendations that can nudge policymakers, investors, and practitioners towards the right priorities and decisions. From the wealth of gender research and evidence we have available from CGR and from our partners, we can identify 3 levers that we need to work on and that have proven to strengthen gender equality in food system. 1, when agriculture technologies and innovations are designed and implemented and scaled in ways that work for women, the outcomes are better for everyone. We know that now. So let's put let's put the right tools in the right hands of women. Number 2, agriculture and food systems can contribute to women's empowerment through gender transformative approaches, where we know that continuously but cautiously challenging restrictive norms and customs by working with women and men together can help address root causes of inequality. Number 3, we know that empowered women will rise up as change makers, and they will create and implement solutions that create strong, more productive, more resilient, and more just food systems. During this conference, we will have the opportunity to share and discuss specific examples along those 3 lines and experiences and innovations. As you can see, we have really come a long way. It feels like not that long ago, these annual gender research conferences consisted of us, a few dozen, sitting around a conference table and dreaming about the day that gender research will get noticed, and today is the day. Now the rest is up to us all of us in this room and in the wider community. Up to us to revolutionize agriculture by delivering the right evidence, innovations, and recommendations at the right time. To listen when partners, practitioners, and policymakers voice their needs and concerns, and to answer when they call. It is up to us to forge the long-term partnerships that will allow us to achieve influence and impact, allowing us to make progress towards those global goals on gender equality and women's empowerment that are so essential for agriculture to possible. We have come a long way, but we still have a way to go. But let it not be 300 years. I trust that this conference will kickstart the revolution we need to put women at the center of food system, and I cannot wait for it to start. Thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Nicolene, for your very thought-provoking address and introducing us to the very thought, concept, and the promise of this conference. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I invite our Honorable Minister of Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, who, with a very profound understanding of the ground realities and the challenges and the problems being faced by the rural community and the agriculture community, and I say so for Honorable Minister hails from a farmers community, from an agriculture community. He understands the problems which the farmers face. And accordingly, he has been bringing about these reforms and transformations, ensuring that every farmer, irrespective of his gender or the socio-economic status, is not only able to survive but thrive in our agri-food systems. So we invite his views, we invite his address to this August gathering, and I request Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji to please address this August gathering.
आज के इस गरिमामयी कार्यक्रम में हम सब के मध्य विराजमान भारत की राष्ट्रपति महामहिम श्रीमती द्रौपदी मुर्मू जी, इस अवसर पर उपस्थित हमारे कृषि एवं किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय के राज्य मंत्री मान्यवर श्री कैलाश चौधरी जी, दूसरी राज्य मंत्री सुश्री शोभा जी, कृषि सचिव मनोज आहूजा जी, DGICR हिमांशु पाठक जी, डॉक्टर एंड्रयू कैंपेल जी, डॉक्टर टेमिल ललानी जी, डॉक्टर निकोलिन डे हांग जी और इस अवसर पर उपस्थित सभी राष्ट्रीय और अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर के वैज्ञानिक गण, अनुसंधानकर्ता, उपस्थित सज्जनों और मीडिया के मित्रों, आज हम सबके लिए बहुत ही प्रसन्नता का क्षण है जब महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी हम सबका मार्गदर्शन करने के लिए हमारे इस परिसर में उपस्थित हुए हैं। हम सब जानते हैं और सारा देश इस बात का साक्षी है कि जब महामहिम राष्ट्रपति महोदय के पास कृषि या संबद्ध क्षेत्रों के किसी कार्यक्रम की बात पहुंचती है तो वो उदारता पूर्वक हम लोगों को समय देते हैं और आज भी यह समय उन्होंने हमें दिया है। मैं ICAR, कृषि मंत्रालय और आप सब की ओर से महामहिम राष्ट्रपति जी का हृदय से बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ, बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन करता हूँ। आज इस सम्मेलन में उपस्थित होकर मुझे भी बहुत प्रसन्नता हो रही है। अनुकूल, न्याय संगत एवं सामायिक खाद्य प्रणालियों की दिशा में प्रगति को तेज करने एवं अनुसंधान का सदुपयोग करने के लिए इस अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सम्मेलन का आयोजन करने के लिए मैं भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद CGIAR जेंडर इम्पैक्ट प्लेटफॉर्म को हृदयपूर्वक बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूँ। राजधानी दिल्ली के लिए यह विशेष समय है। आप सभी जानते हैं, पिछले दिनों प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में भारतीय अध्यक्षता में G20 शिखर सम्मेलन का सफलतम और ऐतिहासिक आयोजन हुआ है और इसी श्रृंखला में ICAR और CGIAR मिलकर एक बार पुनः दिल्ली में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय कार्यक्रम संपन्न हो रहा है। यह निश्चित रूप से हम सब के लिए बहुत ही खुशी की बात है। यह समय सामायिक कृषि खाद्य प्रणालियों का सृजन करने जैसे महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दे पर गंभीरता से चर्चा कर ठोस निष्कर्ष निकालने का है, क्योंकि इस मुद्दे का हम सभी पर प्रभाव पड़ता है। खाद्य प्रणालियों में कृषि की महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका है, जिनका देश के सामाजिक आर्थिक विकास में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान है। कृषि आउटपुट में भी भारत दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा देश है। भारत की GDP में कृषि क्षेत्र का योगदान करीब 14% है। इस क्षेत्र में आधी से भी अधिक आबादी को रोजगार इस क्षेत्र में मिलता है और रोजगार पाने वालों में महिलाओं की भी बड़ी संख्या इस क्षेत्र पर आजीविका के लिए निर्भर करती है। देश में उच्च गुणवत्ता वाले अनुसंधान के परिणाम स्वरूप भारतीय कृषि को सफलता मिली है, जिसके लिए मैं कृषि वैज्ञानिकों को बधाई देता हूं। बहुत प्रसन्नता की बात है कि ऐतिहासिक रूप से विज्ञान पर केंद्र सरकार के लगातार प्रयासों और अनुकूल नीतियों ने भारत को दक्षिण एशियाई देशों के साथ विश्व की खाद्य खपत का 1/4 उत्पादन करने में समर्थ बनाया है। विकसित उन्नत फसलों, किस्मों और अन्य नवीन प्रौद्योगिकी जैसे मैकेनाइज्ड फार्म टूल्स, सिंचाई सुविधाएं, पेस्टिसाइड एवं उर्वरकों के लिए हमारे कृषि वैज्ञानिक बधाई के पात्र हैं। हमारे पास उत्कृष्ट अनुसंधान, विकास एवं नवाचार में निवेश करने इसकी सफलता की लंबी विरासत है। इन उपलब्धियों को हासिल करने में भारतीय कृषि अनुसंधान परिषद, इसके अनुसंधान भागीदारों तथा CGIAR सहित अन्य संगठनों की भूमिका पर हम सबको गर्व है। भारतीय कृषि में सफलता मेहनतकश किसान भाइयों और बहनों के परिश्रम से मिली है। भारत में लगभग 86% छोटे मझोले किसान हैं, जिन्होंने अनेक चुनौतियों का सामना करते हुए राष्ट्र का भरण पोषण करने में सतत योगदान दिया है और अन्य देशों की भी हम पूर्ति करने में सफल हुए हैं। इन चुनौतियों में कोविड-19 महामारी तथा उसके कारण उत्पन्न लॉकडाउन की परिस्थितियों के साथ ही जलवायु परिवर्तन के प्रभावों के कारण बाढ़, सूखा जैसी समस्याएं भी शामिल थीं। तमाम चुनौतियों के बावजूद पिछले वर्षों में प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के कुशल नेतृत्व में कृषि क्षेत्र ने नए आयाम स्थापित किए हैं, जिनका मुख्य उद्देश्य छोटे किसानों का कल्याण है। नई नीतियां एवं नवाचारों का सफलतापूर्वक लागू किया गया है। ICAR द्वारा विकसित जलवायु अनुकूल किस्मों के साथ ही भारत अपने कृषि नवाचार और गहन अनुसंधान के माध्यम से विश्व में एक नॉलेज पार्टनर और रोल मॉडल बन रहा है। देश में खेती किसानी के विकास में महिलाओं का अहम योगदान रहा है। वहीं खेती की ओर युवा भी आकर्षित हो रहे हैं। आगे भी महिलाओं के नेतृत्व वाले विकास पर और जोर देने की आवश्यकता है। महिला किसान कृषि कार्य में पुरुषों के बराबर समय देती है। इसके अलावा बिना किसी अतिरिक्त वेतन के घरेलू सामुदायिक कार्यों में हर एक हफ्ते 30 घंटे का समय देती है। एक बार फिर हमें स्वस्थ किफ़ायती भोजन के उत्पादन को बढ़ावा देने के लिए अनुसंधान व नवाचार में निवेश जारी रखने की ज़रूरत है। वहीं जलवायु परिवर्तन और अन्य खाद्य प्रणालियों के तनाव की चुनौतियों से भी हम सबको मिलकर निपटने की आवश्यकता है। हमें यह भी सुनिश्चित करने की आवश्यकता है कि हम समग्र रूप से खाद्य प्रणालियों की उत्पादकता और अनुकूलन को बढ़ाने के लिए सभी नवाचारों और नीतियों में लैंगिक समानता और सामाजिक समावेशन को मजबूत करने के लिए वैश्विक लक्ष्यों को एकीकृत करें। इन चुनौतियों से एक साथ निपटना संभव है और बेहतर परिणाम प्राप्त किए जा सकते हैं। निस्संदेह कृषि खाद्य प्रणालियों में लैंगिक व सामाजिक समानता होने से बेहतर खाद्य सुरक्षा, निर्धनता में कमी और सभी के लिए बेहतर पोषण, स्वास्थ्य के साथ साथ बेहतर खाद्य प्रणालियों में परिवर्तन करके इन्हें अधिक अनुकूल और दीर्घकालिक बनाने में सहायता मिल सकती है। यहाँ मुझे दिल्ली में G20 नेताओं के घोषणा पत्र का उल्लेख करते हुए प्रसन्नता हो रही है कि इसमें महिलाओं की खाद्य सुरक्षा, पोषण एवं तंदुरुस्ती पर बल दिया गया है। महिलाओं की खाद्य सुरक्षा, पोषण व्यक्तिगत और सामुदायिक विकास की आधारशिला है, क्योंकि इसमें महिलाओं के स्वास्थ्य के साथ साथ बच्चों, परिवार, समुदाय की बेहतरी की बुनियाद पड़ती है। इस दिशा में हम समावेशी, टिकाऊ एवं अनुकूल कृषि खाद्य प्रणालियों में निवेश को प्रोत्साहित करने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं, जिसमें सुलभ, किफ़ायती, सुरक्षित, पौष्टिक भोजन, स्कूली भोजन कार्यक्रमों में स्वास्थ्यकर आहार सहायता एवं महिलाओं के लिए समावेशी एग्री वैल्यू चेन और प्रणालियों के लिए नवाचार को प्रोत्साहन देना शामिल है। हम भूख व कुपोषण को समाप्त करने में नए वित्तीय साधनों, सामाजिक सुरक्षा प्रणालियों द्वारा शक्ति प्रदान करके लैंगिक उत्तरदायी और आयु संवेदनशील पोषण तथा खाद्य प्रणालियों में सुधार करने का भी प्रयास करते हैं। घोषणा पत्र में लैंगिक समावेशी जलवायु कार्रवाई को आगे बढ़ाने का आह्वान किया गया है। इस दिशा में घोषणा पत्र में जलवायु परिवर्तन में कमी और अनुकूलन तथा पर्यावरण संबंधी मामलों में और आपदा जोखिम को कम करने की कार्य योजना व नीतिगत ढांचे को तैयार करने में महिला भागीदारी, निर्णय लेने व नेतृत्व को समर्थन देने और बढ़ाने का आह्वान किया गया है। शिखर सम्मेलन में G20 महिला मंत्री स्तरीय समर्थन करने के लिए महिलाओं के सशक्तिकरण पर एक नया कार्य समूह बनाने पर सहमति हुई है। हम आशा करते हैं कि अगले वर्ष ब्राज़ील द्वारा G20 की अध्यक्षता के दौरान इस कार्य समूह की पहली बैठक का आयोजन किया जाएगा। इस पृष्ठभूमि में चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए वर्तमान सम्मेलन का बड़ा महत्व है और हमें न्यायोचित, लैंगिक, समावेशी कृषि खाद्य प्रणाली को सृजित करने के लिए भारत और दुनिया भर में कहीं भी किए गए प्रयासों को लेकर एक होकर कार्य करने की ज़रूरत है। यहाँ एकत्र महानुभावों के विचारों का अनुसरण करते हुए प्रणालियों और प्रक्रियाओं का सृजन करने से निश्चय ही कृषि लैंगिक समानता संबंधी चुनौतियों को दूर करने में मदद मिलेगी। इन सभी चुनौतियों का सामना करने के साथ ही कृषि अनुसंधान में अग्रणी बने रहने के लिए ICAR, CGIAR सहित सभी सहयोगियों के मार्गदर्शन पर विश्वास करते हुए ताकि उन प्राथमिकताओं, नवाचारों की पहचान करें जिससे हम G20 की प्राथमिकताओं को महिला, पुरुष, किसानों, समुदायों, राष्ट्र के लिए सकारात्मक नतीजों में बदलने में सक्षम हो सके। मेरा आप सबसे आग्रह है कि हम सभी सम्मेलन के उद्देश्यों को प्राप्त करने में सक्रिय योगदान दें, अर्थात अनुसंधान अभ्यास के बीच अंदर बांटने में मदद करें, लैंगिक समानता व सामाजिक रूप से समावेशी अनुकूल खाद्य प्रणालियों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए कृषि खाद्य प्रणालियों में लैंगिक एवं समावेशन पर अत्याधुनिक ज्ञान को साझा करें। मैं इस आयोजन की सफलता के लिए आप सबको हृदयपूर्वक बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है जो ये अंतर्राष्ट्रीय विमर्श है इसके अच्छे परिणाम आएंगे और ये सम्मेलन अपने उद्देश्यों को प्राप्त करने में सफल होगा। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। जय हिंद।
Thank you to the Honorable Minister, sir, for our international guest. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Minister congratulated and complimented all those who have been the various stakeholders in this huge value chain of the agriculture sector, our farmers, scientists, our women in agriculture. Also spoke about some of the conducive policies and programs of the Government of India which support small and medium farmers, promote technology, encourage women and youth in agriculture. The Honorable Minister also spoke about that the G20 leaders, they focused their discussions on women in agriculture for addressing food security, towards addressing poverty, hunger, malnutrition, and towards that women have a very decisive role to play, and this is going to be taken up in the next G20, which is going to be taken by Brazil. He further encouraged all of us to work together, to collaborate and partner towards our shared goals and towards shared prosperity. So thank you to the Honorable Minister, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I take the distinct honor of requesting our Honorable President, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. I request the Honorable President for her inaugural address.
Union Minister for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shri Narendra Singh Tomar ji, Minister of State for Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Sushri Shobha ji and Shri Kailash Chaudhary ji, Secretary Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Shri Manoj Ahuja ji, Secretary Department of Agriculture Research and Education and Director General, ICAR, Dr. Himanshu Pathak ji, Executive Managing Director, CGIAR, Dr. Andrew Campbell ji, South Asian Regional Director, CGIAR, Dr. Temina Lalani Sarif ji, Director General, Impact Platform, CGIAR, Dr. Nicolene Dehan ji, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen. I am really delighted to be a part of the international conference, which is attended by eminent personalities and distinguished scientists from all over the world. I welcome all of you to New Delhi. It gives me great satisfaction to inaugurate this conference, which focuses on bridging the gap between research and impact in order to achieve resilient, equitable, and just agri-food systems. Ladies and gentlemen, as I understand, the theme for this conference, from research to impact towards just and resilient agri-food systems, is quite profound. The evolution of human beings from hunting primates to food cultivators sums up a fascinating cultivational journey. The irony is that as we enter the modern age, we are still grappling with the challenges of attaining just and resilient agri-food systems. Each word in this theme is not only desirable, noble, and ambitious, but also showcases the need of the hour. A society, irrespective of its prosperity, will cease to exist if it is devoid of justice. Any system of thought, any institution, or any arrangement will be untenable if it is unjust. But when it comes to gender justice, agriculture, which is known as the oldest science, is found wanting even in the modern times. Let me remind you that the disruption caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected industries and services. In these trying circumstances, agriculture gives hope. Humanity cannot survive without food grains. However, the pandemic has also brought to the fore a strong correlation between the agri-food systems and structural inequality in society. As compared to men, women suffered more jobless loss in the pandemic years that triggered migrations. At the global level, we have seen that women have been kept outside the agri-food systems for long. For example, women are unpaid workers, tillers and farmers in the field, but not the owners of the land. They form the bulk of the lowest pyramid of the agriculture structure, but they are denied the opportunity to climb the ladder to assume the role of decision makers. Women sow, grow, harvest, process, and market our food. They are indispensable in making every grain reach from farm to plate. But still, across the world, they are held back and stopped by discriminatory social norms and barrier to knowledge, ownership, assets, resources, and social networks. Their contribution is not recognized, their role is marginalized, and their agency is denied in the whole chain of the agri-food systems. This story needs to change. In India, we have been witnessing those changes, with women getting more empowered through legislative and governmental interventions. There are many stories of women turning into successful entrepreneurs in this sector. Modern women are not abala but sabala, that is, not helpless but powerful. We need not only women's development but women-led development. Hence, making our agri-food systems more just, inclusive, and equitable is not only desirable but also crucial for the well-being of the planet and humankind. I am elated to know that the Gender Impact Platform in the consultative group of international agriculture research is working on putting equality and inclusion at the heart of food system research by focusing on women not as the objects of transformation but as the agents and drivers of the transformation. I extend my congratulations as well as well-based wishes to the CGIAR, ICAR, which together are addressing the important issues of gender and social inclusion in the agri-food systems. Ladies and gentlemen, this crisis of COVID-19 conflict and climate change have aggravated the challenges and problems faced by the agri-food systems. Climate change is an existential threat. The clock is ticking and we need to act now, act fast and act swiftly. On one hand, climate change, global warming, melting ice caps, and extinction of species are disrupting the food production. On the other hand, the agri-food cycle is not sustainable and eco-friendly. It is hindering climate action and causing an increase in greenhouse gases. Hence, our agri-food systems are stuck in a vicious cycle. We need to break this chakravyuh. At the same time, we need to increase biodiversity and restore ecosystems so that food and nutritional security can be assured through the agri-food systems along with a more prosperous and equitable future for all. Ladies and gentlemen, the Indian government has given the call for vocal for local. We need to adapt this in the agri-food systems too. We need to change our consumption patterns. We need to go local not only for the sake of our health, but for the health of the planet. We also need to diversify our diets to include a variety of food. We need to move away from the rice wheat system to end the hidden hunger. In this context, we can all remember the Global Conference on Millets, also called Sri Anna, which was held in this very auditorium in March this year. After persisting efforts by India, the year 2023 was declared the International Year of Millets by the United Nations. While the pandemic showed the fundamental strength of agriculture, it also exposed the sector's worst vulnerability. Agriculture cannot be promoted solely on the commercial considerations. This sector's social obligations is critical to survival of humanity. Similarly, the ongoing conflicts in some parts of the world have impeded the upstream and downstream processes of the agri-food systems, whether it be the availability and the price of key intermediate inputs or the supply or marketing of the output. Ladies and gentlemen, for ecologically sustainable, ethically desirable, economically affordable, and socially justifiable production, we need research which can enable conditions to reach these goals. We need a systematic understanding of how to transform the agri-food systems, and I hope that this conference and this esteemed community will take all the measures and steps to achieve these milestones. The agri-food systems should be resilient and agile so that they can withstand shocks and disruptions to make nutritious and healthy diets more accessible, available, and affordable for all. At the same time, they should be more just, equitable, and sustainable. Today, the best of the minds in this field are here. I hope and wish that during the next 4 days, in your deliberations, you will consider all the issues and will pave the way for positive transformation of the agri-food systems. I will end my speech on the same note with which I started. I said at the beginning of this address that each word in the theme of this conference is desirable, noble, and ambitious. I would make an addition that it is actually achievable if we work collectively towards that end, if we harness the potential of research to create an approach which is just and inclusive of all voices. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Hind.
Thank you, Madam President. Your leadership and your guidance to these vital issues will help us in bringing these positive transformations in agriculture and working towards the well-being of the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, may I request you all to please rise now for the national anthem. Jai Hind. Thank you once again to the Honorable President. Thank you to our Honorable Minister for Agriculture and Farmers' Welfare, and also to our Honorable Ministers of State and all the other distinguished dignitaries on the dais for leading us through this session.